Good morning, YouTube. It is 10 a.m. in the great state of Texas, and we are doing another bowl project, all part of the marathon. So we are heading toward the end of our marathon that we have done all year. You guys are probably watching this in late December. Hopefully I am home. Hopefully I didn't have to go on that work thing. Who knows at this point? So we are getting together some green and some black, and we're going to put some epoxy in there. And I put this video in there not knowing how this color was going to turn out until the end. So it's kind of green, so that's why we stayed on the Christmas theme. So if you notice, the videos for December have kind of been the Christmas colors. So we're going to stick on that theme. So this one actually is going to turn out really well at the end of the video. We did this project a little bit later in the marathon. We added some green, some black, and some white pigment powder. I really like the Nebula kind of color that this turns out. I think I'm going to call this the Green Nebula Bowl. But 4.5 hours in the epoxy and 4.5 hours in the pressure pot, we get this cool color. You can see all the different swirls in there. You can see the black. You can see the green. Really like how this turned out. I can't wait to do these projects in a larger form. I think that you just get a better appreciation for when they're larger like that. It looks just a lot aesthetic. The aesthetic on it looks really good. Sorry, I'm doing this commentary at 4 o'clock in the morning, so I'm a little tired. I apologize. But again, don't be stingy with your glue. All right, getting that piece of pine board on there. Gonna make the sides. Make sure the sides are all taken care of, because you don't want things flying off the lathe. And surprisingly for the marathon, we have had a couple of hiccups, but we haven't had any major ongoing catastrophic issues, so that's definitely a good thing. So here we are, getting the faceplate on there, making sure everything is nice, tight, and secure. A little bit of crack in the wood, but you just come back. Don't be stingy with your wood glue or your hot glue. Hot glue can fix a lot of stuff, people, so don't be stingy with it. So here we go, getting everything onto the lathe, getting that nice spin down, making sure everything is engaged, because there have been times when I turn on the actual lathe and I forget to engage the wheel. So make sure you engage the wheel. So here we go, getting that superficial layer off. Obviously you can see we're getting really good ribbons off and doing a little tricks with the camera in and out. I wish I had a professional camera person. I think these videos would be so much cooler if I did. We'll get there one of these days. But anyway, back to the video. So getting everything nice and cylindrical, making sure everything is nice and round, taking that round carbide tool, trying to work out all the kinks out of this. You can see a little bit of divots on the actual epoxy, but nothing that we haven't dealt with before. So now we're just getting the bottom all taken care of, so we can turn the mortise, and I think we're gonna stop. I thought we were gonna stop the actual lathe here in a second. This is actually the first time I'm watching the edit, so I'm just like, oh my gosh, you guys are learning with me how this turns out. But it works out, obviously. So getting everything nice and smooth down, and now we're gonna stop. We got a little bit of spots in there. We're just gonna come back and try to fix that. I think I came back, stopped the lathe a couple of times trying to fix that little spot, and I ended up just working it down the best that I could, because a lot of the times I'll get a little too aggressive with that spot, and I was like, we'll take care of that in the sanding portion of it, which shouldn't be a problem. It's not that large of a spot. So anyway, now we are just going ahead and building our mortise, taking the parting tool, and then we're going to take the actual square carbide tool, get everything to the size that we want it to be, and just working that out to an appropriate measure. Sorry, again, it's 4 o'clock in the morning when I'm doing this commentary. I'm a little bit tired. This is not a professional woodworking channel. If you need that, go watch a professional. I'm just a guy in a garage. But anyway, sorry. Back to the project. Okay, so mortise is pretty much almost built here. Getting that just sized the way that we want to, making sure everything is nice and clean on the bottom. And then we're going to come back, stop the lathe, and then size up the chuck. It's just a little too small, so we're just going to come back, make the edges just a little bit wider, and get that to the appropriate depth that we want it. That should do it. Boom, nice fit. Now we're going to take off the faceplate, get the chuck reversed, and then we're going to start the actual gouging portion of it. Taking the faceplate off. See, look how good that glue did. You can see the broken pine board there. So that's why you don't want to be stingy with your hot glue, because things will tend to fly off the lathe. So now we're just taking off that piece of pine. That shouldn't be any kind of a real issue. Just take the gouge and then the round carbide tool and just take layer by layer, remove the tailstock, and then you're just going to come back and forth, seesaw that back, and we're going to get that superficial piece of pine board that we don't need. Go back and watch my old videos. If you used to see, like, I used to keep the pine, and it does not look aesthetically pleasing. The one great thing about doing these marathon projects is that they're all epoxy. So it just looks aesthetically better when it's just all epoxy like that. We're going to do some larger bowls in the future, and definitely going to do a lot of these colors, because I ended up making a lot of colored bowls that just look really, really cool. And I think if we just do them larger, I think it'll be even better. But one of the great things, like I've said in a couple of other videos, is that the great thing about doing these smaller depth videos or smaller depth blanks is that the epoxy just melts on the actual chisels. So that's actually really good for me, because nothing worse than getting a lot of chatter on the chisels, which just kind of freaks you out a little bit, and it just makes everything wonky on the lathe. But we can't say enough good stuff about how these projects turned out. Really loved them. And like I said, this is all part of the marathon. I have a work situation. I have no idea what that's going to look like. So, you know, we're going to come back and do larger projects in 2023, hopefully. But who knows what the work situation will be then, or where I'll be, or what we'll be doing. But we're trying to get a video a week. That's always been my goal, and so far we've succeeded. So hopefully we keep up that momentum. So anyway, got to a nice depth that we want. Now we're just working out the bottom with the round carbide tool and the square carbide tool, trying to get the lip of the bowl as thin as we want. And then we're just going to come back and do some finer refinement work here. Get everything to a nice depth, and you can see all the shavings and everything on the bottom of the bowl or on the actual workbench itself. And we're almost to that point. Now we just take the smaller carbide tool and we just like work the edges a little bit, make sure everything is nice, even, and flush. And then we'll start my favorite portion of it, which is sanding. Had a little bit of chatter there. That's what I was trying to show you. Horrible thing is that sometimes you will get a little bit of chatter if it catches. So that's why you want everything nice and flat on the bottom as much as possible. But here we go. A little bit later on, all the shavings. You can see just the workshop is just covered in shavings from all of the projects that we've done. So gonna get the workbench cleaned up just a little bit, and then we'll start my favorite part, which is sanding. And then we'll go all the way from 340 all the way up to 1500, and then we'll do our wet sanding and be done. So here we go with the sanding portion of it. If I could hire somebody else to do sanding, I totally would. But nobody wants that job because sanding sucks. So there we go, 340 like I said, starting out, and then we're going to hit it all the way up to 1500, go through all the other grits. And then wet sanding's not too bad. Wet sanding is pretty nice, but you can already see the cool color coming out of there. We'll hit it with that wood wax, and then it'll just really just pop on camera. Like boom, look at that. Look how nice that looks. I just love it. It's a good Christmas color. It definitely is a Christmas color. So this fits into the theme of December. So like I said, I finished this in March. You guys are watching this in December sometime probably, or November, somewhere in the fall. It's definitely the holiday season. So here we are, all done. I hope you guys enjoyed the marathon. Hope you guys enjoyed the project. Crazy thing is, there are still videos for the marathon that are going to be posted later, all the way up into the first week of December or first week of January, but this is actually the last commentary I'm doing for the marathon project. So hope you guys enjoyed this marathon. I know I had a blast. Don't forget to subscribe, comment, like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out. Alright, so project is done. This little guy did not turn out the way I had imagined. So you can kind of see those cool little black splotches on the bottom of it. It's like this weird nebulous type of green color. Like you can, I don't know if you can see that on camera right there, but the color is just really weird. And I probably could have done a little bit finer finish on the sanding portion of it. It's just, you know, we're getting late into the marathon. I'm 6 days out from when I have to leave, and I didn't spend as much time sanding. Overall, it still looks pretty cool. It's actually smooth. It's just the resin color setup that is the issue. But overall, pretty happy with it. So the marathon continues. This is project 1 today. Cool translucency though. Really love that. So hope you guys liked it. Hope you got something out of it. And don't forget to subscribe, like it, all that good stuff. But you can see some pretty cool colors in there. Really cool. Yeah. Okay, we're going to do a better one. So hope you liked it. Don't forget to subscribe, all that good stuff. All right, peace.